As we just saw in Katie's report, Egypt can't afford to keep subsidies as they are. The government is struggling to pay its energy bills, and this is having a knock-on effect for international energy companies. Now, one such company is UAE-based Dana Gas. It's been in discussions over the repayment of a $1 billion Islamic bond that matured this week. So how is the situation in Egypt affecting its operations? That's a question I put to Majid Jafar, the chief executive of Crescent Petroleum. It's also Dana Gas's biggest shareholder.
The receivables issue, as far as Egypt is concerned, has been contained in the sense that it's not growing. Now, there's still the backlog from last year, which is $200 million, but we're working with the government. They've been very proactive with a view for a plan to cover that. On a wider corporate level, of course, the payment issues in Iraq are well publicized, the dispute between the federal government and the regional government. Again, positive recent news, payments are going to be resuming and that they'll finally be passing the oil law, which is very important. On a macro level, the European debt crisis, of course, and the effect on global capital markets has meant access to financing and refinancing has been an issue. So you have the mix of the Arab Spring, the European debt crises, internal political issues all coming together. The fundamentals of our sector are very strong. Energy prices are high, and this region still has 60% of the world's oil, 40% at least of the world's proven gas reserves. So it's going to be an increasingly important source, as well as market. It's the fastest growing market for energy.
But is there not risk attached?
Well, of course, we're being prudent. On the other hand, as regional companies, we see risk profile differently from how Western majors might see the risk. None of the contracts of the oil and gas sector have been called into question or renegotiated, and the new government hasn't been, as some may have previously feared, anti-investment or anti-foreign investment or anti-private sector. Or they've actually been very focused on the economy, and President Morsi taking big delegations of businessmen on his foreign visits.
What would you like to see change in Egypt?
Well, it's early days. I visited there a few weeks ago. There's certainly a commitment post-revolution. There's clearly, a mandate and a legitimacy that the new government has through the elections. There's a commitment stated to tackling corruption and for clean and open, transparent government procedures. Bureaucracy might be even more of a challenge than corruption. How can they achieve quick change and quick wins? And there is big bureaucracy, that's sure, but there's a commitment to addressing those challenges as well.
Majid Jafar speaking to me earlier.